weekly warrior wrap up. That's what I'm calling this. I have a few issues that I want to share with you and things that you can help me with. The first thing, let's start with some good news this week. The state of Vermont, a very liberal state, passed banning child marriage. Now, what does this mean? It is only the 8th state in the United States to ban child marriage. Nobody, no minor under the age of 18, no child, no teen will be allowed to get married. I was very surprised when I heard this because there has been a push for the state of Vermont for the full decriminalization of the sex trade. As of now, it hasn't gone through. And for the child ban, we want every state to raise the age to 18. 18, no exceptions. We don't know why this is so difficult because we know all of the harms caused to, for instance, teen girls who are married mostly to adult, much older men. They have no rights. They have no money. They stop their educations. They usually end up pregnant, multiple children. They can't sign a legal agreement with a lawyer. So why should they be able to get married? They can't go to a shelter because they're not an adult. They need an adult to get into a shelter. They're mostly told, any of these teens who try to escape from an abusive husband, because most of these relationships, and we have all the studies, there's a lot of domestic violence, a lot of coercion, a lot of force. I dare say this is a form of human trafficking because that's their traditional meaning, force, coercion. So going to a shelter, they're told, go back to your parents, go back to your husband. What I find incredibly amazing is when I talk to these now women, some young girls, nobody ever questions them. I will say to them, you were 13 with a 50-year-old. A judge married you. Did they ever question this? Not one of them has ever told me anybody said this, gee, this looks strange. Or, a 14-year-old with 2 children, one in a baby stroller, one hanging on them, and they're seeing all the other kids go to school in their neighborhood, and this is what they're doing. Did anybody ask, why aren't you in school, or question anything or talk to you? All of them the same thing. No, nobody ever questioned me. Nobody ever asked anything. So we're going to take the good news, all the good news we can get. Vermont is the 8th state. But you know what, warriors? That means there's 42 more states that we have to work on. These 8 states have taken, I think it's between 7 and 8 years now to get to that age of 18. So we need all of you. And what can you do? You can go to lynswarriors.org. You can go to our Take Actions. You can find the sign-on letter with our partner, Global Hope 365. They're based in California. They work extensively on these issues of child marriage and human trafficking. And they have a letter writing campaign. So if you sign on to the campaign, it's not only for the state of California, it's for all 50 states. They have the model on their website, global365.org, as we have on the Warriors. So this is some good news. We're going to take the good news first, Warriors. Now, let's see what else. Well, the Biden administration admits they have misplaced, lost 85,000 kids who've come over the border unaccompanied. I can't even say it, 85,000 kids. If they're admitting to 85,000, who knows what the real number is, but we know it's more than 85,000. Where are all these kids? This is a breaking story in the last couple of days. We've heard about this before, and nobody seems to care about it. 85,000 they're admitting to. Where are they? We have to deduce a lot of them are in trafficking, whether that's sex trafficking, whether that's forced into criminal activities with gangs and cartels, which we're going to get to in a minute, whether this is forced servitude, which is domestic help in one's home. We have a lot of that going on, believe it or not, in the United States. I have reports here in New York City, where I live, that I haven't been in the subway in a while, but there are young girls in the subway selling candy bars, selling water bottles. That's called forced begging. So there's a lot of that going on too. 85,000 kids. You need to contact your elected representatives. I will tell you this until, I don't know, I'll just keep telling you this, because numbers count. Add your name, go to lynswarriors.org. Again, find our toolkit. examples of how you contact your representatives, because most of you out there, I'm sorry, when I talk to you in person, you don't even know who represents you. We pay taxes. Look at all these issues just piling up. We have to take action. So this, no matter how you feel about the border, this is criminal. These are children. This affects all of us. Remember, every state is a border state. Now, let me explain. I was part of a terrific, very empowering this past week in New York City called the America Project. And the America Project was started and is run by now Patrick Byrne and also Tom Homan, who worked as the ICE director under President Trump. Now, he has decided, with all of the horrors going on with the border and others, including Jason Jones, Julio Rosas, we are going to tackle this. We are going to go into communities. Remember, the Warriors is always about very grassroots, bottom up. That is the way to make a difference with the citizens. Give them the information, give them easy tools to jump on board and get people motivated. That's the mission statement of the Warriors. And Tom Homan came and kick off in New York City to explain the America Project, which is going to deal with border issues, but also providing solutions, what each and every one of us can do. And a lot of people were completely horrified, but real stories resonate. These are atrocities going on our border, and we just have an open border. We don't know who's even, for the most part, filing into our country. It's criminal. No other place in the world would allow what's going on in the United States. In the meantime, again, I don't care how you feel about the border. We've got all these kids and what's happening to them. They relayed horrific stories of what's happening to children, the abuse. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't have to get graphic for clicks and likes here, but you can imagine. And it's very organized and it's very well thought out, and it's being run by the cartels. So we have a complicit United States government working hand in hand with the cartels out of Mexico, and they are making so much money. And we say every state's a border state because the cartels are working now in every state. There's no stopping them. You know, they're partners with the Mexican law enforcement. They're too powerful. Look it up, do some research with their tanks and their machine guns, and then videos that we have of them on our United States highways with machine guns in their laps. I can't imagine where this will all be in a couple of years. They are running the human smuggling and the human trafficking operations. And they're also utilizing American citizens and a lot of young people, teens included, who don't even have driver's licenses, advertising online. So when I say the internet full of predators, not only sexual predators, these type of predators as well, advertising for, we'll pay you money to bring people to different states or within your state. Why, after all, they just caught a grandmother I was reading this morning. She was paid $500 a person. She had 8 people jammed into her car for $4,000. We have teenagers who will do it for $100. It's human smuggling. And we're allowing it. Our government is allowing this. So what are we going to do? Use our voices. Start signing on to any take actions we present to you here at the Warriors. Go and look up the America Project, americaproject.com. If you do nothing, sign up for the newsletter, because remember, information is power. Knowledge is power. If you're here and haven't signed up for the Warriors newsletter, you better. LynnsWarriors.org, scroll down on the right side. E-newsletter. I have a new one going out 2 days, full of a lot of information. If nothing else, share a tweet, a Facebook story, something. But number one concern of mine is our children. Even these children coming over the border here in New York City are being filtered. Our kids see them on the sidewalks. Our kids may have them in their classrooms. Our kids are wondering what's going on. We have to take action. So you sign up, please, for some of these free and easy suggestions I'm giving you. And then today, it's Saturday. I don't know when you'll be watching this, but I do radio programs. I have 3 different radio programs. And my Saturday program, Lynn's Warriors on TNT Network, Radio Network, I had Marion Kendall on. She's the executive director of Lifeway Network here in New York. I want all of you to sign up for this newsletter too. Remember, newsletters are free. That's lifewaynetwork.org. Lifeway Network has 2 safe houses. The problem with all of this human trafficking, sex trafficking, we have nowhere in the United States to put people. So we can't say we save somebody. When you read that, every time I read that, I don't like it. We don't have ongoing places to keep people, maybe temporarily, but we certainly don't have places where somebody can reclaim their life, where they can get medical and holistic psychological attention so they can become empowered. Because remember, a lot of this is psychological damage, which we know lifelong harms. It's not enough you get out of a situation. Having a safe roof over your head is number 1 step. So all these exit strategies we have for everybody don't work if you don't have a place to put people. And our government is doing nothing about any of this. But Lifeway Network is. Lifeway Network is the role model for what should be going on around our country. Unfortunately, I have to even talk about this, that we need safe houses and places to put trafficked people. We have to intervene and prevent. We have to deal with the people, the victims, the survivors we have. But Lifeway Network is truly, truly doing the work. It was started by Sister Joan some years ago. It is now run by Marion Kendall. And they do a whole program. The women stay for 1 year, 12 months, where they are given their medical, their psychological, job training, a cup of tea, anything to get them back on their feet. It's a tough haul. And Marion Kendall and her team of employees and volunteers, and it's very, not a lot of manpower going on. They're doing the real work, and they have 100% success rate. Can you imagine that? 100% where their women graduate and go on and stay out of trafficking. I'm proud to say that on May 11th here in New York City at the University Club, I will be helping them with their Event Towards New Life, their annual gala that they've been doing for a couple of decades now. Now, of course, if you're in New York, I want all of you to attend. Go to lifewaynetwork.org, look for the tickets. But of course, if you can't attend, you can make a donation. You can, maybe you're a company. Maybe you can donate for our silent auction, because we have beautiful items. I gave a speech last year at the event, rallying up the troops, as we like to say. I will be doing that again this year, rallying up for our silent auction. So if you have anything, contact me, Lynn at lynswarriors.org, that we can auction off, because this money goes into the homes. It costs $37 a night for a survivor. That's pennies. And Lifeway takes no government money. It's all privately funded, as we are at the Warriors. And that reminds me, thank you to all of you who donate, volunteer, write to me encouraging messages, because this work isn't easy. But I want to remind you, I didn't choose this work. This work chose me. It's a calling, as it is for Marion Kendall, Lifeway Network. These are tough issues. Our government isn't doing anything, so we have to. And also, I'll be posting, I'm behind, Warriors, I admit. So much going on during the day, so much work, trying to attend meetings and gatherings like I did for the America Project. Also, you can catch me on OAN. I gave an interview to Caitlin Sinclair. I'll be posting that, but you can find it on OAN if you're subscribed. And there's just so many things happening, but I want all of you, I need all of you. It's 2023. I can't do this alone. To step up, at least in your own home, and take action. Please watch your kids. Please communicate with them. Please understand what they're doing online as much as you can. I'm going to post an interview I did yesterday on my daily program called State of the Nation. And State of the Nation on TNT Radio incorporates all of these issues we talk about in the Warriors, but also headlines and things. Farmers. I had a wonderful couple yesterday from California, Ann and Dan Manicero, sharing with us what's happening. Their family farm, over 100 years in the family farm business in California, 4 different farms, how they're being Their hands are tied. They're being eked out by China, eked out by Mexico on the border, with all of that produce flooding our markets. What can you do? Look at your produce. I've seen it here in New York with the tags, little stickers saying, made in Mexico. Remember, they don't have the same kind of requirements, and they're selling that in our American supermarkets. That's one thing you can do, support the American farmer. You can also ask your supermarkets, we want local produce. We have to keep what's left of local farms in business. And but take a look at Manacero, MANASSERO farms.com. And they talk about organic farming. And that interview will also be posted shortly. And how we have to all basically, again, I keep using the word grassroots, but that's what it's all about. In your community, we got to get back to that. We got to swing the pendulum back. Smaller is better. Local is better. That means shopping, things with your children. It's schools better by you participating, by you talking to your child every day. What are you learning in school today? What kind of books? Look at the books, the workbooks, the textbook books, the assignments online. What's happening? Make sure you have those safety features and filters. We'll help you. Go to lynswarriors.org. Email me, lynn@lynswarriors.org. You don't understand how to put safety features or filters? We'll help you. I'll help you. Also, our great friend Chris McKenna at protectyoungeyes.com. He will help you with anything tech you want. I did a fantastic quick hit with him yesterday about Discord, because we've been hearing a lot about Discord with this Jack Teixeira, this leak with the Pentagon. Remember that last week, everybody? They're very quiet about this story. But anyway, he was using the gaming app Discord. And we've been talking about Discord for about a year. And because there's so much sexual predation on Discord, and it's a messaging app. And everybody in the last year, every single person, when I would say, do you know what Discord is? Not one could answer me. No, they didn't know. Yet it's very popular with all the kids because, again, it's a messaging app, and they think their parents aren't savvy to what's going on. So they're using it. Kids also think messaging apps, things disappear. No, they don't. They're exchanging a lot of nude images, all kinds of stuff. The drill, warriors. So these are a couple of headlines I wanted to talk about. And I want to leave you with a very disturbing story, which I have to dig into more. But then I say to myself, my duty is on the ground. My duty as a warrior, going into libraries, community centers, your homes, coming here and filling you in just a little bit of information that the UN, and I'm not a fan, I'll leave it at that, put out a very disturbing report on Women's International Day a couple of weeks ago. The bottom line of this report is basically they're normalizing sexual relations between adults and minors. You got to read between the lines with their report. That is the goal. That is what who's ever pushing all of this wants. And we're seeing what's happening. We're seeing a very angry society. We're seeing a society that is normalizing the sexualization of our children. What's going on in the schools. Christianity is being attacked. So much happening. So take a deep breath. Sign up for the Warriors as far as our newsletter. Follow the good advice I'm giving you. If you can give 2 cents, I don't care, to Lifeway Network, do it. Or the Warriors. I'm not shy about that. Our monies go into organizations like Lifeway Network to support the survivors, because without their voice, I can't do my work and help others and to children in need. And we've got a lot to do, but I'm convinced if we come together, even in small groups, and we understand what's happening, we can make a difference. Just remember this. Don't give up. That is the goal. They want you to give up. They want you to think this is so dark and ugly you don't want to acknowledge it. I'm here to say, if I can do this 20 hours a day, you can do it 5 or 10 minutes a day. Watch your kids online. Give your kids an extra hug and kiss tonight. And each other. Be kind. And remember each and every day, please be a warrior.